All right, welcome back to the Dungeon of Doom podcast. I am Ben Raven. He is Corey Woods. Corey, how you doing over there?
What up, though? What's going on, Ben? How you? I'm pretty good to answer your question. How about yourself?
I'm all right, man. We are fresh off attending Detroit Lions rookie mini camp, getting to talk face-to-face with the rookies for the first time. Outside of Tyleek, we got to speak to him at his introductory press conference, but we talked to all the other draft picks at mini camp. Some cool characters, some good dudes. And I would preface this podcast episode with saying there wasn't a lot of football action at minicamp on Friday. Like the team drills were all run sets, or lone quarterback on the roster, Cole Snyder from Eastern Michigan, would fake a pass and stop. So this was the most basic of basic practices, but still a good opportunity to see the newest members of the Detroit Lions, along with a ton of 19 tryout players, 10 undrafted rookies, 4 veterans, and 7 drafted rookies.
Yeah, that's pretty much, you just basically said what it was. That's why I was looking online and seeing some people react to these clips. I'm like, hey, this is extremely early. Calm down in either direction. Whether you're panicking or praising, just hold your horses. There's plenty of weeks before we get to that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I saw a couple people try and do mini observations out of it, and I was like, what? I mean, there were no forward passes thrown in team-on-team drills. There was, hey, whatever, unpadded practice. It was the first minicamp practice, too, so this was literally the first time on the field for these guys. And I mean, it was like that first day of high school football practice.
Yeah, it looked like a, I guess don't want to be disrespectful, but it looked like a glorified workout. But we're getting some cardio in.
This is how we do things. This is how you do this. Yeah. This is what we want to see here. And I think based on that, I think the main headline out of that was that, Tyleek Williams, the first round pick, he did not do much. I mean, he really did not do much during the practice. Left early, but it wasn't he left early because he got hurt. I mean, he left early because that was part of the plan. And I know he's been posting on social media about recovering from a hamstring injury. He laid it out talking hey, I just played a really long season at Ohio State, and the Lions are taking it easy on me. You were there for Tyleek. What were your impressions of him? Because we don't really have impressions on the football field yet, but what were your impressions of Tyleek?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It said, you see the thing about the hamstring, and he said, okay, well, this was a precautionary thing that happened because of a fall or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was a little bit of jumbled up there, but overall, what I got from him is that he is a guy that is looking to come in and, make some do some damage, but he's also trying to just slow roll things and make sure that he's ready to go when the season starts. One constant thing that you will find between him and all the guys that they drafted is that is really personable guy. Yeah. But one thing that stood out to me was that he said was how, fast everything was. And I'm like, well, you didn't really participate in everything, but still, he was able to notice that the intensity and the speed of the practices were different. Here's some other notes that I wrote from what he said. Brady says he's ready for any expectations because Ohio State prepared him well. Not too thrilled about wearing the number 78, but that's something he said funny. that will come down the line. But really, right now, it's just he's focusing on the mental reps and adjusting to the new playbook. And he said Michigan is starting to grow on him. Still has to call it the team up north or the place up north. But it seemed like he's starting to get settled into his new digs. He's already communicated with some of the linemen on the team. Yeah. Saw DJ Reed around the building, but said that, the guys have welcomed him, congratulated him, and told him that, hey, it's going to be hard and nothing easy to be given to you, but, welcome to the fold, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah, and Williams did a couple things during the team drills, played some nose, played some 3-tech. I mean, you want the main observation about him is biggest dude on the field, outside of the tryout guy from Nebraska that's 6'9", 320, but Tyleek, 6'3", 334. He is every bit of 6'3", 334.
He's a big guy, but I don't know. It may sound so stupid what I'm about to say. He's a big guy, but when you're talking to him, he doesn't field that big. He's just like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, he's in shape. Like, he's in shape.
Yeah.
But, like, when he's on that field, you're like, dude, he is
Whoa.
door sized. Like, like, I mean, for real. And, yeah, he did a couple things during team drills. He was over on Mount Patricia going up and down the hill. You know, your typical hamstring recovery stuff. But yeah, you spoke with Tyleek, and let's cut to Tyleek talking about just the team taking it slow with him, and I think you guys will enjoy his comments on the number 78 and what number he has his heart set on too. So we'll cut to that right now.
Is there a story behind 78? You know, the number at all, or is there hoping to get something else? Is that a permanent?
Right now, I'm trying to get 91, but it's already taken. But hopefully, I can get out of 70. I don't want to. But right now, it's 78. Now I'm gonna stick with it, make it look good. But for right now, that's my number.
These are your first steps of your NFL career. What are you hoping to accomplish now that you finally put on a helmet, finally put on a jersey, but for the next couple of days with rookie camp before OTAs get going?
For me, I just want to, be a great teammate and be a sponge. Like I said, there's a bunch of vets in there. Just seeing DJ inside. So just getting to talk with them, learn scheme, learn ball, learn how to play in the NFL is different from college. So me, I'm just a sponge. I'm just trying to learn everything I can to give me an advantage.
Yeah, good stuff from Tyleek there. He wants number 91, but here's the thing. Number 91 is going to be a pretty big part of this team this year, and I don't think he's going to give up the number he's had for the last 4.5, 5 years or whatever it is. But, hey, shoot for the stars, kid. Oh, man. And then also, I think you were at Tate Ratledge, too. I ended up writing about Tate and Miles Frazier, the two rookie draft pick guards, just because it's a cool story. I mean, they trained together through the offseason. These veteran college dudes from big-time programs trained together in the offseason, joked around about what it would like to be drafted together, and then here they are. They're drafted together. Not only are they drafted together, but they're drafted by the team that, like, the offensive line is the foundation of this team. Like, everything this team does goes through the offensive line. I mean, everyone's offensive line is important, but, like, Detroit and the way they treat their offensive line, what they expect out of these guys, I mean, that's a cool thing. And the thing about Tate was, I mean, man, he played a lot of center. Now, don't go freaking out. Like, he's not the center in waiting this year.
He's not the Frank Ragnow replacement.
That's not what this is. I already saw some sarcastic tweets or blueskis or whatever we're calling those, and it's like, chill. Chill. Like, this is rookie minicamp. Like, there's a weird assortment of position players here. Like, this is like not it's a real practice, but like there's not a ton of centers here. So like, and they were going to cross train him anyway. So like, don't freak out about it. But like, they were getting him reps at center. They were getting him reps at guard. And we got to see that mullet in person for the first time, and it's glorious.
It's sick.
Yeah. You were there for Tate.
I mean, him, it's about that mullet. Him, Tesla, Grant Stewart, Anzalone. It's going to be a battle this year for the best hair on that team.
No, Tate's a big dude. That's a tall dude. Like I'm 6'6", and he was like, holy crap, this guy's actually like 6'5", 6'6". Like, that's a big dude in there.
But like you said, I was there for Ratledge, and just one of the things he just talked about was that, like you said, they're planning to cross-train him and other guys in multiple positions, and that so far, even though he's just really had some real time with Frank Haley, he said he's already learned so much from him.
Frank Haley.
Hank Fraley.
I couldn't let that one slide.
Hank Fraley.
Leave it in.
He's already learned. Leave it in. He's already learned so much from him, and we called him regarded him as a high IQ coach. Says the Lions offensive line was impressed with this film, and the one thing that really got me that was pretty funny was he said he thought that the call from the Lions was fake. He said with the TV delay, he thought he was getting pranked, even though he did not get pranked, but he said he just thought the call was from him was fake.
Yeah.
But just said that the NFL playbooks go into a little bit more deeper nuances than college. But he said it's still football. It's still a game, and the Georgia practices that he had, something that also Dominic Lovett touched on. He said the Georgia practices prepared him for this moment.
Yeah, dude, we'll get to Dominic Lovett in a second, but what an entertaining dude that is. I mean, I went over to Tesla's session. I was like, all right, I got to talk to the Michigan kid. I'm I'm from Greenville. I played against Unity Christian. I guess his dad was the coach of the team when I played there too. So that's crazy. But like, we did the full Tesla session, which was not a short session. Lovett was already going before that one started. I came back and he was still going, and I was like, okay, Dominic Lovett can hold court. Like, good stuff right there. But yeah, back to the guards. The same thing for Miles Frazier. Just for those looking for the football talk, you know, Ratledge was playing center and right guard, and they had Miles Frazier, I believe, at right guard and right tackle. And I mean, that's part of the plan. I mean, if these guys are going to be dressed on game day, they got to be ready to go at either of those spots. I mean, you look at Colby Sorsdale and what he's had to do. You look at Dan Skipper at what he's had to do, making his first starts at guard last season too. I mean, that is part of the expectations here. Like, you are not just one thing on this offensive line. And I think, and I'll just go into Miles Frazier. We were going to do this in order by round, but like, I combined the guards in a post at mlive.com/Lions last week. So we'll combine the guards right here too, because it's just kind of they're two big, well-spoken, big, just clean. That's like when I walked away from Miles Frazier, I was like, he's just smooth. He's clean. He's composed. He speaks like a pro. And people came over. I mean, he was just smooth. I mean, that's what you get from these guys from Georgia and LSU who have done it for 3, 4, or 5 years at that level. So, hey, we'll see what happens there. I in my first projected depth chart of the season, I had Ratledge starting at the guard spot opposite Mahogany. I think if Ratledge starts as a rookie, it will be at right guard. You know, I think Mahogany's got enough. I know he was a 6th round rookie last season, but he made a start at left guard, and that's more than Ratledge. So go with it. And we'll see what happens with Graham Glasgow, but I do think he is kind of viewed as like stud backup center for right now and just like a ready to go guard to help those rookies get to the next level. We'll see what happens. Real football has not been played yet. So we will see what happens there. But yeah, let's just go right into Isaac TeSlaa, because like you said it, the hair, the size, the speed, like he's big. Like he is big. I mean, sometimes when you read the roster sheet and you see 6'4", 214, you're like, yeah, bull crap. I used to be listed at 6'7", too. But like,
he's big in person.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay, yeah, this is a big guy.
Yeah, no, and he moves really well. And I was cracking up, like looking at somebody posted a clip of him making like a really nice over the shoulder catch, and like all the comments are like, "Oh, where's the separation?" I'm like, dude,
I retweeted that when I'm like,
did you?
on.
Okay, nice. Maybe that's where I saw it. I was like, what do you guys? It's a drill. This was not a game situation. This was a drill. Like, he was like, just chill. He's fast. You didn't get to see the vertical, but it's there. I mean, just the way this kid moves, like, it's like, all right. I see why you viewed this guy as like a high upside developmental guy, because the size, the speed, played a lot in the slot, played some outside. They want him to do it all. And he's just got a cool story, man. I mean, that video that his mom posted of the draft call, like, he's telling everybody to shut up, and then he says, "Thank you, Miss Ford," and the room freaks out. And now we learned that he's like showing up at his pre-draft visit, his interview in a custom jersey.
I thought it was just one jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's classic. He's like, hey, I'm gonna manifest my way into the Lions.
And he did. I mean, we got to talk with Ray Agnew, the team's assistant general manager, before Friday's practice, and he's just like, you could just tell he's like, that was kind of weird at first, but then it's like, all right, no, you meet him and you're like, this kid was born to be a Lion. Like, Ray said that multiple times. Like, he was born to be here. TeSlaa said the same thing, and I just, you know, it's hard to get a grip, because like, I'll just share a little conversation we had before walking out to this practice on Friday. Justin Rogers, Detroit Football Network, and myself were like, let's name all the rookie minicamp wide receivers we've fallen in love with over the years, and like how many made the roster. And it's like, and I'm not saying that's like TeSlaa, but it's like, don't fall in love with receivers at minicamp. The minicamp is designed for receivers to look good, and I'm not taking anything away from him. The size, the speed are there, but yeah, just before we play a little TeSlaa clip of just him talking about draft night and what it means to be for the Lions. What do you think about him, man? Like, that's an interesting piece for that receiver room. We've always talked about them needing something for the outside. He's kind of a slot guy, but he's going to play outside. I don't know, man. What do you think? What should be the expectations for him in year one?
I think in year one, you just want to see how he plays in spots. I believe with you still having Tim Patrick there, you don't have to really throw him into the fire just yet. You can kind of let him learn and, get his wing, wet his beak a little bit during preseason. And then as the season comes along, as he starts to get more of a hang of the playbook and the game speed, you can trot him out there. But as you see right there during their mini camp, from what we were able to see, he has a talent, he has a speed, he has a size. Hands look good from what we've seen. We're going to see more as OTAs and actual training camp go along. But the Lions at one point were going to have to take another receiver that they needed to go ahead and groom for that. That third is part of their their rotation, that third role, and you see why they wanted this guy. And with Scotty Montgomery, a guy who has a track record of just being great at developing players at their respective positions. I mean, the sky is the limit for Tesla, to be quite honest. So, and the fact that he doesn't have to immediately get thrown into the fire, probably maybe come along towards the end of the season, I think that's going to bode well for him.
Yeah, I think so too. And he said he got a text from St. Brown on draft night. Got to see him up at the cafeteria before going out to minicamp practice, and it's just, he's a Michigan kid living out his dream, and he's not just here as a camp tryout. They traded 3 third-round picks to move up to get him in the third round. Let's move on. The big wild card of this draft class, the edge rusher, the Boise State big man. You were there for that one too, Ahmed. I would say this: he's built, strong, wide, like barrel chested, little shorter than I imagined. Yeah. I could say that about most people, but I was like, all right. But yeah, just he seemed like another entertaining dude, and I think we picked that up from a Zoom call on draft night and just getting to learn his story. And I just love that he's out here looking for some good chicken shawarma. And what was he in? The lobster mac and cheese had me cracking up.
The lobster mac and cheese. He was just so enamored by, wow, we get snacks and hydration whenever we want, and this is so cool. And I'm like, wow, if you're amazed by the little things, just wait till you really get to tour this place.
Exactly. And I think that speaks to the jump that he's making. Like we said it last week in last week's episode, like Boise State's not a small football program. That's been an established kind of program for a long time now, but you're going from the Mountain West Conference to the Detroit Lions, and it's just stuff like that. Like, holy crap, they got lobster mac and cheese out for us for lunch and stuff like that. So I would say the one thing with Ahmed is patience, exercise patience. And it came out over the weekend, and this is something I'm going to write when we get off the podcast here, is the Lions got an extra draft or a roster spot for drafting him. It came out. He's technically through the International Pathways program, they got an extra roster spot to add another body for training camp and stuff like that, which is really interesting. I didn't think that counted for draft picks, but there you go. I saw that.
I didn't either. But that's wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things I kind of looked into. Like, players qualify for that program as long as their citizenship and place of residence are outside the United States and Canada, and they have no more than 2 years of high school experience, in the U.S. So, there you go, man. That just speaks to he's an unfinished product. He didn't look like he didn't belong. I'm not saying that, but he is an unfinished product making the jump to this level. But man, I turned to somebody and I was like, dude, he's going to be in a training camp fight. Book it, because he tries hard on every single play. He's going to I'm not even going to say the veteran's name because I don't want to get replies, but I think everyone knows who I'm thinking of. He's going to come in way too red hot sometime, and it's going to be like, what the F back and forth. But that's a fit. That's not a bad thing. That is a fit here, man. You talk to him. What are your takeaways? Am I on the nose with that prediction?
Yeah, this guy is just all energy, and the fact that he has done some CrossFit training. Well, that's really where he was one of the number one CrossFit in his that's crazy. Back in his town. He said it just helped with his competitiveness. Here's a real quote I want to say from that CrossFit: the nature of the competitiveness, always want to get better, they always want to push teammates, we work collectively. It's not just individually. I work with a team. I'm a team guy. I work with my D tackle, my nose, my other end. We work together to go get the quarterback or stop the run. So this is the same with CrossFit. My teammate has to make like 50 snatches. I take 25, he takes 25. Pull-ups, muscle-ups, he takes 10, I take 10. So we kind of coordinate how we do and get through the best time possible. So, he just to kind of clean it up at the end. He said that helped him a lot with the weight room, his hands, and, having a guy with that kind of motor who knows that he has an uphill battle to make an impact on his team, and he's going to be working it off because he's, to kind of, get into a context people will understand. He's literally considering this his 8 Mile moment. So, having that kind of guy, with that kind of motor, and he's unpolished. Well, not to say he's unpolished, but he could use a bit more polishing. You got Casey Rogers here, who's regarded for his work with linemen. You got Kelvin Shepard, we know definitely is going to be on him. The sky's the limit for him, and you see why the Lions took him. He's a guy that he's gritty. That's really just the best way you can put him out. He's gritty.
No, he is. He's gritty. He's untapped. He's a just nonstop motor type of guy. You see why they fell in love with him. Like, it's really easy to see why they fell in love with him for sure. Let's hear from him, and then we'll move on.
When I got to the facility, it's like the food, the nutrition, the snack bar. I'm just so grateful for everything. It's awesome. It's just like, you can grab snack whenever you want. You can grab nutrition whenever you want. I mean, it's a dream, and it came true. And I'm gonna give it all I got for my team.
So what's the best snack in the snack bar?
Ooh, I tried. There was like the lobster mac and cheese. They have it in there. And I was like, wow. This is awesome. And they have hydration, and they have like beetroot, and they have everything. And apple juice, orange juice, everything. So I'm just so honored to be here. I'm just happy, man. I'm just gonna give it all I got.
And we got 2 more Georgia guys on the draft pick list. Dan Jackson, man, just kind of a cool deal, man. Never under scholarship at Georgia. I know he had some academic scholarships from what I was looking into, but was also able to pay for this final year there with NIL money. He just wanted to be at Georgia. He just wanted to compete. And I'll just say the thing about Dan Jackson is just a special teams dude. Those were all the questions were what's Dave Phipp like? What's this? And he's just man, I'm just trying to absorb and soak as much as I can and just contribute. I mean, he's got a couple blocked kicks under his resume. Just was a guy that how the hell did you survive at Georgia as a walk-on and then earn a starting role? That's gritty. That's determination.
Yeah.
His path to even make it to this point, not only as a draft pick of this team, but you see that too. And he's got another unrelenting motor too. Cause they were doing those team drills, and that Eastern Michigan quarterback was he knows he's not throwing a pass. He's going through the motion, and all of a sudden Dan Jackson just cuts through the middle on a blitz. And you're okay, yeah, I see that. That he's just on all the time. It's hard to judge safeties. There were no special teams drills. There were no kickers or punters there, so we didn't get to see him work as a gunner or anything like that. But just a high motor, man. And I talked to Dan Jackson. Just a cool story. He's where he wants to be. Feels like he's gonna fit in well. But you talked to the guy that seemed like the most entertaining guy there. Fellow Georgia 7th round pick. Let's tell the people about Dominic Lovett.
Dominic Lovett is, and I said this when I wrote the story. I said he has an affable personality. The confidence is there. He's a jokester, but it's not jokester in a way where it's concerning or he doesn't take the game seriously. It's more so of he's going to be he seems like he will be a great teammate, a really feel good guy for the locker room. When he's heard some of the criticism about him being. I'm going to this part first about the criticism. He said he's heard some of the criticism about him only being a slot guy, and he said, "Hey, that's pretty much came from critics who have never played the game. He doesn't care where he gets lined up, where he plays, whether it's in the offense or special teams. He just wants to play. He just wants to be on the field." And the one thing that I really took out was him calling out Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams in more so of a respectful way, saying, "Hey, where are you guys at?" The reason why, I want to learn from you. I want to lean on you. I want to know what you guys know so that I can go ahead and make an impact on this team when I start. And, he said he saw Amon-Ra, but he said he's looking for J-Mo because, here's the quote that stuck out to me. You're the new guy on the block, and that's okay. Everybody was a rookie at one point, so you just have to come in and be a sponge. And that's what he wants to be. So him already knowing, like, hey, I'm pretty much going to be looking to make my impact on special teams initially and then, find my way in. What more can you say?
Yeah.
They asked him about how does it, he was asked about how, starting over. He said, hey, at some point you're always starting over at the next level you reach to. And he said, nah, I'm at the highest level, so I'm starting over again. But kind of similar to what Tate Ralitch has said, he said that the practice to him felt like a Georgia practice. He said that practicing, under Kirby Smart helped prepare him for this moment. So, I guess while maybe some of the terminology and things might have been different, the actual workload of the practice set didn't throw him off any.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing for Miles Frazier, too, he's like, I'm not trying to, but he's like, we went hard. LSU, too. It's like, everyone, he's like, 4 of my offensive line teammates got drafted this last year, too. So it's like, I was not playing with scrubs. So, that's all I mean by that. But that's cut to love it. We got to play you some of him. I mean, he was holding court, man. And that is rare for a late 7th-round pick. So good for him. A lot of confidence. Let's cut to love it, and then we'll share some parting thoughts. Yeah, good stuff there. Just to update everyone, it is Monday, May 12th. It is NFL schedule release week. We are not mentioning that because it's going to update. It's going to change by the time this is published. We'll have that all covered. mlive.com/Lions. They're dropping games here and there throughout the week. The official schedule release is Wednesday night. We'll have that covered. We'll have the schedule out there. We'll have our way too early game by game predictions out there too. And it's going to be a busy week in Allen Park. I know we're going to speak to some coaches this week at some point. So we'll have it coming. I would just say, it's this rookie minicamp, man. It's an interesting thing. I mean, it's newborn baby giraffes learning an intricate, deep, complicated playbook for the first time. So that's why it's so slow. And there was only one quarterback in camp, and it was the undrafted rookie minicamp tryout Eastern Michigan quarterback Cole Snyder. And that's no offense to him, but he wasn't ready to come in there and run an NFL offense. And also, I was thinking back to last year, man. I don't think we saw many passes thrown last year either, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So that's just the minicamp deal. But yeah, good stuff, man. Just any final thoughts on minicamp and what's ahead? We only have a couple practices left because they're cutting it short because we lose more of our off season with the Hall of Fame game. So we'll be back at it much earlier for training camp. And I didn't realize it hit me the other day. I was like, oh, I didn't realize the Hall of Fame game didn't count. They have to play 4 preseason games. We're going back to the before times again. So we're running to the deadline here before we disappear for a little bit. But just what are you thinking? What do you want to see the next couple of weeks from the Lions before they head into the summer break?
Just want to see if how guys coming back, how they look, if they're moving good, good in good health. Want to see some I don't know how much we're going to see as far as them running sets and stuff like that. But look, hey, if guys come in one piece, to me, that's what I'm looking for. If anybody's physique may have changed for the better or for the worse. and the one big thing I'm really going to be looking at is just to see how John Morton and Kelvin Shepherd command the field when they got their guys out there. I saw and heard Tashard Choice.
Oh yeah.
And when he was with the running backs, I'm like, oh, okay. I see why they went for him, because he's a tough-nosed coach. I mean, they've had some tough-nosed guys at that position, Deuce Staley, Scotty, no drop off with Tashard. So I'm curious to see how the new position coaches look and how they how guys respond to them. That's what I'm going to be looking at.
I'm glad you said that, because that was one of my main takeaways off the field, is I see what everyone was saying about Tashard Choice. Yep, he's got the juice. He's all juiced. He's all energy. He's all fire. Man, good stuff there. But yeah, it was it was wild looking around that field. You're like, all right, that's that assistant coach. That's that assistant coach. You're like, holy crap, there are so many new faces on this field.
So overall,
so we're hoping to get to
and
talk
I
to
wonder,
some
and
of those
I do
guys.
wonder.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
Real quick, I wonder if that is why you pretty much saw a little bit more on hands than deck than normal. Because I don't really recall seeing that many faces at the mini camp last year, but this year it just felt like everybody was there.
yeah, no, it was interesting. Yeah, a lot of new faces, man. A lot of new faces. That was kind of one of those moments where you're like, oh yeah, there was quite a lot of turnover on this staff. Yeah. All right, that's all we got for you this week. It is NFL schedule release week, so make sure to stay up with mlive.com/Lions. We'll figure out how to tackle the schedule release on the podcast as well, I'm sure. There's just a couple weeks left of meaty football talk before we go away for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be right back at it. But this is Ben Raven and Corey Woods, your Dungeon of Doom podcast for mlive.com.